Tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen.
What is up, everybody? I bet you guys were not ready for a Saturday live stream. I almost wasn't ready for a Saturday live stream because NFL took us by surprise a little bit this week, but can't complain about more football. We got 2 divisional games late in the season. One of them has a lot more importance and significance than the other, but we can still bet on both of them. Nothing's stopping us. JJ, how are we feeling, man?
I mean, feeling great coming off an exciting game with a lot of controversy, but it was some of the best football we've seen in a while, especially for a Thursday night game. I can't complain. And then we hit the lotto on top of that, or the parlay.
We hit the parlay. I don't think we had a lotto in that game. I'll get that on the screen for everybody to see as well, in case you missed it.
What's good with everybody?
We had Seahawks money line. What a finish! Sam Darnold, 2 passing touchdowns, hit both of those 2 legs on the last play of the game. How you doing? And Davis Allen, 2 receptions. If you guys aren't following the Twitter, you guys need to change that right now. MC Analytics HQ. But otherwise, let's talk today. We got first game is Eagles and Commanders. And if you guys were here about 3 weeks ago, you heard me jokingly vow to never bet on an Eagles game the rest of the season. We're going to break that vow today, but I'm definitely more excited to bet on the other ones. But we'll talk about both. JJ, anything to share before we start getting into the touchdown script?
I mean, are we just in general, or
just anything that we don't normally talk about that you think is worth sharing about the games?
I feel like I said something and then forgot it before stream. I need more coffee. That's what I need.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We can get hyped up on caffeine as soon as we're done with this. I promise you. All right, let's show some of the touchdown analysis and where are these touchdowns being funneled to. Against the Eagles, it's on the ground. They allowed the 3rd highest rushing touchdown percentage. The issue is I don't really trust the Commanders to do a lot of scoring in this one. So if you want to sprinkle in a little bit on the Commanders run game, you can. Personally, it's going to be all you. Yeah, I will not be sweating that with you. Commanders are pretty average. They're sitting right here at 14th. But they also just allow so many touchdowns that instead of trying to pick who's going to catch a touchdown on the pass game, it is worth mentioning that basically every team has had a running back touchdown except for Seattle. Seattle doesn't count, let's be honest. They just hate using their running backs once they get in there. So you can go get Saquon. You can go get Hurts if you think it's going to be a tush push. But there's going to be some aspect of somebody from the backfield getting in the end zone one way or another. That's what I would target on that game. In the other one, we have Chicago as the 7th lowest rushing touchdown percentage and Green Bay as the 12th lowest. So you want to target passing touchdowns against them. As far as which positions to target, we can talk about that as well. Since they don't allow a lot of downfield passing, the thought is that the outside receivers don't get much opportunity, and it's more the slot and tight end, which I can confirm. For the Bears, their defense has changed a lot throughout the season, so we can focus more on specific weeks while I pull this up. But I know there's some key guys out for the Bears with Rome Odunze and Luther Burden in this one, JJ. Is there either DJ Moore, Loveland, or Kmet that you just, from a scheme standpoint, you seem to like more than the others?
I'd probably go I think I might lean Loveland a little bit more. Just, they're really trying to take away the deep ball, the Packers. So, I mean, he had a pretty solid game last time with those guys. So I think he was looking at something. It was like Loveland was getting targeted pretty good
now. Overall his usage without just Odunze, not even looking at Burden being out, just Odunze being out is ridiculous. So I can't imagine what it might be in the red zone. All right, so I'm looking at since week 10 for red zone target rates allowed. So this is defensively. Both Green Bay and Chicago rank in the bottom 10 in first read share targeted. So you don't really want to target the first read guys. Green Bay allows the 11th highest target rate to the outside receivers. Chicago and Green Bay are both top 6 in inline target percentage. So you want to target the tight ends for both sides. You're looking at Komet, Loveland, and don't really want the tight ends on the other side. I'd probably just say, even though Jaden Reed is more slot than tight end, obviously, somehow the Bears are lowest slot target rate, but 5th highest in inline target rate. That doesn't make any sense. I think Reed's fine. Just target the middle of the field. That's real. Usually I kind of lump slot and inline targets together.
Yeah.
It just depends on the offense. So I would go Reed, Komet, Loveland for tight ends on that side of the ball, or just quarterback passing yards. Did I miss the Eagles versus Commanders review? No, we're kind of doing both at the same time. I guess we should focus on one before the other. So for the running game, we'll talk about the Eagles game first. And with the Commanders, you can bet on whoever you want against them. They're bad at defending everything. I'm reluctant to trust any part of the Eagles run game without Lane Johnson, but if it's ever going to overcome that issue, it would be this week. Do you trust Saquon at all in this one, JJ?
I mean, they've been feeding them the last 2 games. I mean, 20 and 22 rushing attempts. I kind of think like he's bound to hit a home run here, right? I mean, Commanders just, like you said, they can't stop anything, no matter what position. But I do think it's going to be more rushing and tight end work here.
I'll say this. I'm not going to tell anybody it's not going to happen, but I can absolutely, like, if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be that surprised either.
Yeah.
You seem to have a better read on the other backfield better than I do with the Commanders, so I'll let you take the floor on that one.
Yeah, I mean, when you just look at Bill, I mean, obviously Chris was out last week, but I mean, Bill's kind of proven himself that for how low his line is, like right now it's at 23.5. He's gone over that in like 12 or 14 games. I mean, his only 2 misses was when he had 4 carries. I just don't see him after what he's been doing with yards after contact to just completely go away. I mean, Dan Quinn has still been raving about him, just using him and Chris. I think probably at bare minimum we see him with probably like 7 carries, which is plentiful here. I think you just have to keep using both. But, I mean, for 23.5 yards, I think that's a lot of value.
It's one of those lines where if I was the coach, I'd be like, yeah, we're definitely giving him enough carries to cover this. But I don't know how he lost the job to Chris Rodriguez to begin with. I understand Rodriguez was solid, like he was fine, but you look at the Patriots, for example, they got Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. Henderson is dominating Stevenson, and it was like, okay, eventually he's going to overtake the role, and eventually he did. Obviously, the injury helped, but like the writing was on the wall. That wasn't really the case with Chris Rodriguez and Merritt. And Merritt's the younger one, I'm pretty sure. I forget how young Rodriguez is. But, like, for the younger one to get the job and then lose it when he wasn't really playing bad and the guy behind him wasn't playing that exceptional didn't make much sense to me. So it makes me – I don't know how much to trust the staff because it's weird to me. Because it should be simple.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just expecting to see like a pretty 50-50 split between both of them in the rushing and then probably McNichols mainly in the receiving game.
I got somebody in the chat asking about Devontae Smith receiving or just touchdown. It's a big concern that he's only had 2 red zone targets in 7 weeks. He is my favorite one to target of the Philly backfield, like in terms of just having a good game. but as far as red zone usage, it's not there, which is the problem, in my opinion. And while we're on the topic of the pass game and touchdowns, because I got ahead of myself a little bit, somebody said, what do you think of Amon Thompson rebounds paired with A.J. Brown over 6 receptions and Devontae Smith for 40 yards? Love the Devontae Smith 40 yards. A.J. Brown 6 receptions, I'm a little reluctant because he's more of a big play receiver, and if they get ahead early, it's a team that wants to run the ball. So if they're ahead and they want to run, they're just going to run, and it's going to significantly limit the volume and opportunity you're going to get. I'd rather take a longest reception or receiving yards. So let's get into the receiving game then, JJ. Like we said with the Commanders, you can target whatever you want. A.J. Brown has had a very good history against the Commanders. So, JJ, why do me and you both like Goddard and Smith more than A.J. Brown?
I mean, I think it's just looking at the splits between them based off the coverages. But, I mean, I think it was outside receivers get targeted like a little bit less. No, I think it's just receivers in general get targeted a little bit less. But the tight ends have just been producing very well against the Commanders. And I think that's why I'm going more either tight ends or running back in this game for the Eagles offense, because I do think they get a lead, they go up early, and then they just kind of cruise from there. But Goddard is always like that safety valve that Jalen Hurts can rely on. So I kind of just want to stay away from these receivers.
I'm right there with you. I already expressed doubt in Saquon and just how reliable he is. Definitely trust him more than the pass game. I will say that.
Yeah.
On the Commanders side, we have Zach Ertz injured, Terry McLaurin's back. No Jaden Daniels. The Eagles' pass defense is not a juggernaut, but it's not bad either. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite target of the receiving group for the Commanders in this one?
I don't have one. I probably go Terry just because since he's came back, he's been pretty heavily targeted. But I wouldn't be surprised if Debo gets involved early just because of the cover 6 and all that. But I'm just not a fan of the receiving in this game in general, I guess.
Keon Mitchell being on Terry could be a problem for him. I don't want to say it will be, but that's really the only way I see him being limited. And then the volume goes to Debo. We have Prop Plug in the chat telling us Sanat, so I pulled him up real quick on the website. He's one of those, I can't remember if I'm mixing up him and John Bates, but their routes run split last game without Zach Ertz. Sanat ran 11, John Bates ran 14, which I think it was Sanat was the one that they drafted recently, and you were kind of just waiting for them to give him the opportunity, but Zach Ertz was playing so well, it never happened. So I do agree that it should happen, only over 2 of 5 games because the route share has been really low for what it's worth. So if he's going to get 10 routes, he has a 12.2 or 12.5 yard line. You can see how other tight ends have been doing. Brock Bowers only 28, Gadsden only 7, Loveland only 28, but Kmet did have 36. Ferguson put 60 on him. Musgrave 23. So it's kind of an up and down game with the tight ends against him. You got some hits and some misses. It's going to depend a lot more on scheme with them or just with the whole group really, than it will on matchup, I think. And I think I'm kind of with you. I think they just kind of force feed Terry a little bit more than they should. If I had to pick between Sanat and Bates, I'm picking Sanat. I mean, they've been wanting to give him loosen his leash for a while now, and obviously they didn't want to do it because of his Zach Ertz injury. But however it happens, I think it was going to happen eventually. 10 completions last game. 1 went to Sanat for 40 yards. It was a big play for them late in the game. I'm with it. I promise you, I'm with it. You could ladder him if you wanted to. It's because like I said, it's a pretty hit or miss thing. He's either going big or he's not.
Yeah.
Anybody else we need to talk about in that Packers and Commanders game?
Probably the one you bet on, right? It's a little bit, unless you want to.
I didn't bet on anybody in this game.
I'm just hearing because you said Packers.
I said Packers.
That's why.
Yep, that's fair. That's on me. You got me. It's because we need the caffeine. We haven't gotten it yet. That's the problem.
Yeah. As far as the Commanders and Eagles, no, not really.
Let's check what the spread is at right now, and see if we have a lean there. It's -7 or +7.5. If you want to take the Commanders, not gonna lie, that is exactly where I would put it if I were the line makers. Put that key 7 number in favor of the Commanders. Don't make the spread too big because it is a divisional game on a weird day that disrupts the entire routine of the team because it's not even a Thursday, it's a Saturday. So it feels like everybody's saying that the Eagles are going to beat the brakes off of them. I don't think it's that simple. Which side do you lean on that stance?
I would lean towards the Eagles winning probably around by 10. I'll say 7 to 10 range.
All right, so you
but I do think they get up early. But it makes it difficult because it is divisional.
We can keep them out of the parlay. We don't have to put them in the parlay.
Yeah. We'll go to the next game and then we'll kind of decide from there.
Yep. All right. So Commanders Jesus Christ, I apologize. Packers and Bears. This is the fun one in my opinion. This has a lot of playoff implications. Winner pretty much takes the group or the division, and the loser's probably going to be battling with the Lions for a wild card spot. The Bears do play the Lions in Week 18. If the Bears lose this game and the Lions win out, the Bears are out. If the Bears lose 2 of these final 3 between the Packers, 49ers, and Lions, I think they're out as long as the Lions don't shit the bed. The Packers, on the other hand, if they lose, they're still hold the tiebreaker over the Lions. But no Michael Parsons makes that last part of the stretch of the season really difficult. Which brings to my next point. How impactful do we think this no Michael Parsons is going to be for the Packers defense in this one?
Because this is a team that's already wasn't getting a ton of pressure on the quarterback, as a whole, but I think it does make a little bit of an impact as far as the passing game is concerned. Do you think it makes an adjustment in the run game?
I definitely do think it makes a difference in the run game. I think it takes them from a top rush defense to an average to slightly above average run defense. My concern is more in matchups like this, where it's guys like Caleb Williams with their legs just making a game-breaking play. I feel like Micah Parsons erases 1 or 2 or 3 of those just by his presence or just making the play himself. I feel like not having him opens the door significantly to those kinds of plays. And against Caleb Williams of all quarterbacks, who that's pretty much what he depends on all of his success for and whether he has a good or bad game, not ideal for your defense. However, I think that secondary and linebacker group is really good. So I'm not sure how much it's going to matter for the result of this game, but it could be similar to where the Lions were last year, where they were still winning games, but without Hutchinson, you knew that it was going to catch up to him when it mattered.
Yeah.
No Rome Odunze, no Luther Burden. Bears do get somebody back in their linebacker group from Iowa, which should help a lot because I didn't like their linebacker group. While we're on the topic of injuries, because I forgot one on the Packers side, Josh Jacobs apparently was trending towards not playing for a long time. Now it's a little bit more 50-50. I'm treating this as if he's not playing until I hear otherwise. But that's also another thing that's very up in the air. If it's Emmanuel Wilson, last time Emmanuel Wilson had to start, they ran him 18 times in the first half alone. Ran him for 25 plus attempts once it was said and done. Christian Watson's also up in the air for his status. A lot of injuries in this one, and it's going to determine the game, in my opinion. So we'll go back to the Dunze thing. Colson Loveland's usage is absolutely insane, both lately and specifically with the Dunze. I think he's the easy one to go look at. In a smaller sample size, Cole Kmet is really good without Burden on the field as well. I think we're just going to see a shit ton of 2 tight end sets for the Packers and try and more methodically get down the field, which one is kind of what the Packers want. So you're kind of, I don't know if that's the right game plan you want, but I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah.
Is there, I know we both kind of agree on the whole Loveland, Kmet, DJ Moore aspect, but in terms of a matchup of like the offensive success for the team, where do you see any advantage for the Bears?
I think it really all depends on Caleb Williams' accuracy here. It's going to be the biggest factor. I think outside of that, if we're looking at matchups, I mean, Green Bay is going to try and take away the deep ball as they always do. So, I mean, you got to go for like the intermediate to underneath looks. I mean, just has to be the tight ends. And does that give them an advantage of getting downfield and winning this game? I don't know.
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Like,
It's going to
I feel
have to
like
be like long drives to tire them out, but I don't know if they're ever going to be able to do that.
Like, I have some tunnel vision a little bit because of the Lions, but the Lions week 1, Jahmyr Gibbs got 10 receptions. If you're a Lions coach, fan, player, you want the ball in Jahmyr Gibbs' hands as much as possible. The Lions didn't come close to winning that game.
Yeah.
The next time, Amon St. Brown obviously got hurt. You got the ball in Jameson Williams' hands a lot. Didn't go. I don't know. I feel like you need to find a way to like crack and break the Packers, and I just don't know if the personnel allows for it right now, unless it comes through the run game, which, like I said, no Micah Parsons should make at least a little bit of a difference. On the other side, we got the Packers, a lot of injuries for the skill position players, but Jordan Love's healthy, the offensive line's solid, and Jaden Reed's back. And Jaden Reed is the one that I am excited to talk about because once Tucker Kraft went down, you're like, oh, like, don't really have like Romeo Dobbs. God bless his soul. He always shows up when he needs to, but he's also, if he's your wide receiver 1, you're not excited. You don't have any sort of unique ability to your scheme with him. Jaden Reed is very good with the ball in his hands, and he's exclusively in the slot pretty much. And they finally ramped him up. He got 31 routes last game. I'm going to get his chart on the screen here. He had 14 routes in his first game, 19 routes versus Green Bay or versus the same Chicago team in his second game, where he had 4 targets, and then 35 routes versus Denver. If you're telling me Jordan Love throws it 30 times and we even get a 70% route share for Jordan Reed here, I'm very optimistic about another Jordan Reed game, especially because out of the slot, the Bears, I think they're top 7, or I said the worst 7 in terms of yards after catch per completion, yards per completion, explosive play rate on passes targeting the slot. So they want to get the ball in his hands. They're going to scheme him up to get the ball in his hands, and then the matchup's going to just talk for itself from there. And I know you like Jaden Reed too. So is there anything else I'm forgetting about the Jaden Reed hype train to share with the people here?
I mean, not really. It's just as simple as, he's getting the snaps. He's in the slot. It's a slot funnel. Christian Watson is kind of questionable dealing with shoulder and what was the other injury that I listed? I forget, but
injured.
Coming out of the hospital last game. I mean, I think they have to go to Jaden Reed. I mean, his involvement it's been there since he's came back from his injury.
Yep. And then I don't really want to talk about Watson just because we don't know what his status is. Like we said, Dobbs is going to show up when he needs to. As far as the coverage thing, I don't know that there's any like specific coverage unless there's one that you think I'm forgetting. But it's just going to be, is Jaden Reed available to get the ball? No. then we're either going to run it or Romeo Dobbs the third option, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean the main coverage you want to look out for with the Bears is just going to be cover 2, really. I mean, it's just one of the top. They run at one of the highest rates in the league right now, last 5 weeks. So I think no one really like truly stands out with that. So it's really just going to come down to Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. It's really just those two. Maybe a little bit of Luke Musgrave. You can get some yak, but that's about it.
All right. It's parlay time. Unless anybody has any questions in the chat, they're more than welcome to ask it. But the first leg I can tell you right now that we're going to be putting in is Jalen Hurts or Saquon anytime touchdown, or either for anytime touchdown available on FanDuel. That's going to be the first leg. It is minus 370, but we always have a simpler parlay and then more of a long shot parlay, and that's going to start off the simpler parlay. So we'll do that, and then we'll have Jaden Reed. What we want, 40 yards, JJ?
Yeah, I'll do 40 yards.
And then if you were to pick a winner between the Packers, Bears, or the spread on the Philly and Washington side, which one would you say is our favorite?
I'd have to say Packers.
Okay, good. I'm right there with you. I just had to make sure I'm not biased because Packers winning is significantly better for the Lions.
Yeah.
All right, so Packers, we get plus 311 with this parlay. And then I believe FanDuel is giving us a boost. So go ahead and grab that. They're letting me put 50 on it. So I'll lock that in and put the screenshot on the screen here for you guys to tail. And then we got the lotto look. So the first question I'll ask about the lotto, JJ, is do we want Hurts or Saquon? Because we need one of them.
I'll say Saquon.
Saquon. All right. Saquon is the first leg. Ladder, Jaden Reed up to what, 60 yards?
Maybe do 60.
All right. And then we'll ladder up the Packers to minus 2.5 or minus 6.5, whichever one's more reasonable odds on DraftKings. And I finally got this on my computer. I can put that up while I screenshot the rest. Oh, no. There we go. And here we go. I apologize, everybody. My computer wants to be slow at the worst times. While I wait, okay, here we go. And there we go. You guys got that locked in. And then let's go on DraftKings for the other one because I assume they're giving out another boost themselves. But while I get that locked in, we can see what else we got in the chat. Missy, but what was your reads on Eagles versus Bears? Pretty much Jaden Reed. If they put up Emmanuel Wilson lines, I want it. Even if Jacobs plays, I think clearly he's not healthy enough to receive a full workload, and it's worth getting him some action. They'll probably give him a low enough line that's worth taking. And Colston Loveland, which is like I realize is probably the two most square spots on the board. You guys didn't need to listen to a 30-minute live stream for to get that insight, but sometimes you don't need to go out of your way looking for plays that are going to hit when they're staring you right in the face. Saquon over 9.5 long receptions. I'm not a biggest fan of the longest reception market for running backs. I think it's probably one of the more volatile props you can look at outside of touchdown bets. So that's kind of where I stand on it. For this matchup, I mean, we've kind of been saying you can ask us any over for any player with consistent usage against the Commanders, and we're probably going to say, yeah, it should hit because that's how bad this Commanders defense is. So if you're going to play it in any game, this is a good one to play it in.
Especially with Commanders defense. I mean, they give up so many yards on screen passes. I wouldn't mind it going longest reception here.
Perfect. And then, all right. So they're only letting me get an SGP for each game on DraftKings. So I'll do Jaden Reed 60 plus and Packers minus 2.5 for plus 690 on DraftKings, and then for the other one we'll go Saquon touchdown. And do we just want to take the under? No, I don't want to take the under with the Commanders defense, but we disagree on the spread. Let's just do Saquon and Jalen Hurts touchdown.
Okay.
And
We can do
then,
that.
is there any prop you do like that you think is worth for the lotto at least?
Just from the Eagles game.
Yeah.
For the Eagles game, I'd probably go. I might go like Saquon rushing.
Saquon rushing. I think that's kind of where I would lean to. I would go
Yeah.
Saquon rushing, and then I'm going to mix in a Terry McLaurin. Oh, they won't let us do long reception on DraftKings, so we can't do that. And then you like JCM, right? Good old
I do
Bill.
like. Yeah.
All right, let's see if DraftKings doesn't want to give us a boost for that. All right, we're going to put 25 on it anyways. At plus 1,000. So I'll get both of those on the screen as well. And yep, that finishes up everything. Once I get those on the screen, you guys will see it as well. But otherwise, we'll get to whatever else we got in the chat. DeAndre Swift yards. He's been questionable all week, and Kyle Monangai, whenever he gets a chance, has been. I don't know if I want to say he's been better. I'll just say it. I'll be blunt about it. Kyle Monangai has been better than DeAndre Swift, but DeAndre Swift hasn't played bad enough to not be used. So I'll give him that credit. What I will say about his rushing prop today is that not a big fan of the Green Bay matchup, but this is the best it's going to be priced in this matchup because of like Micah Parsons I guess this is going to be his first game out. So I don't hate it. Usually I hate DeAndre Swift props a lot more than I do, but for this one I'll allow it from a value standpoint alone. All right, and then I'll put the I'll put the Philly parlay on the screen first. I already got the Green Bay screenshot, so we'll put that up first. Nope, doesn't want to. So you guys will get the Philly one first. Usually I have my big setup, so forgive me right now. And there we go. Here's the long lotto for the Philly and Washington game. Hopefully you guys got enough time to get this in. I'll get the Green Bay one up on the screen here as well. JJ, I need a first down touchdown score from you for at least one of the games, and I'll choose the other one.
First touchdown. I'm gonna go Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert. All right. So JJ's got Dallas Goedert, and I will do first touchdown Dallas. I think I want to do Emmanuel Wilson. Either want to do him or Monangai. I'll do Emmanuel Wilson and then anticipate Josh Jacobs not playing. That's plus 8,300 on MGM for a parlay, because why not? Just real quick here, all the parlays. We got the primetime parlay plus 389, the Philly Lotto, Saquon and Hurts anytime touchdowns, Bill Crosby Merritt 30 yards, Saquon 80 yards for rushing, and then 60 plus receiving yards and Green Bay minus 2.5 at plus 690 with a boost for the Green Bay game. We're going to sprinkle a nice 1/10 of a unit on this any first touchdown parlay, because why not? And yeah. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I know it was kind of a mess today. We apologize. But we got Sunday Night Football tomorrow. You guys will see something out for that. And we got Monday night and then Christmas games. So I don't think we'll be doing a Christmas stream or parlay, but we'll text and put something out, maybe a quick video at the best. But otherwise, happy holidays. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy the game tonight. JJ, good to stream with you as always. We'll see you guys later.